For this video, I'm going to teach you guys how to be sub 5 in using the flip method. The flip method is basically the beginner's method of clock. We'll solve the cross on the first side and then flip to the other side to solve the cross and the corners. Although sub 5 using the flip method is a bit difficult, but it's not impossible. And you might hear people say to use 7 simul for easily getting sub 5s, although that is true, but it's not required. The flip method is a good method and it has a lot of potential. It could also get you to sub 3, but it's like very hard. So the first tip is clock skips. What are clock skips? It's basically like this, where the center is matching with either one of the edge clocks, and it could give you like advantage in your solves to be faster. So for me, when I have like this clock skip, I put it like in this position I'm holding right now because it prevents me from doing D moves, because everybody's pin order is different when using the flip method. So it's probably the hardest method to teach people because everybody has different pin orders. But I'm gonna show you mine. This is an advantage because I don't need to do any D moves on any of these down dials like this. After I solve this one, I will personally put this down and put this up and do D moves to solve this top edge clock. But since it's already solved, I can just solve it like this and just flip it to the other side. So every scramble, you should look for these advantages in like during inspection. Not only you will only see like this only clock skip, you can see like many other clock skips. So another example is like this block right here where the center is like matching with this clock and this clock. So it forms a block like right here. The corner is not included, by the way. It gives you like a huge advantage when solving the edges, meaning that you only need to solve like 2 edges before you just get into corner if you on the second side. But this is very lucky, but it's not that hard to get in scrambles, but it's low-key lucky. Like this is a lucky clock skip because it only takes a few moves to solve like the cross like this, and now you're done. Like, it only takes like 2 moves or 3. I'm going to give you another example of clock skips. Another example is like these 2 corners that are solved like this, but the center is not. So this is kind of similar to the other clock skip that I showed you. This is also a clock skip because if you solve it like this, you get this block, and it's very lucky. The reason that you should be looking for clock skips is because the flip method, it takes a lot of moves, so you should be as efficient as you can as possible. So the second tip is the turning. The turning is very important since you're going to be turning like very fast, and since the flip method is not very efficient, so you should be focusing on your turning the most. So what I mean by turning is that for clock, your turning should be very accurate because for example, I want to match it to this edge. I need to turn it exactly like this to match it with this one, but if I have bad turning, I would maybe overturn like this or underturn. So you should be focusing on your turning, like your turning accuracy, you know. So yeah, like that. You should be focusing on the accuracy on your of your turning, because you would be turning like really fast, and you shouldn't be really messing up it with flip method. But having one or two mess ups with 7 side mode, it's forgivable. You're still getting sub 5s or sub 4. Yeah. So another example of your turning is D moves. For D moves, you should be really using your pinky, but that's optional. I rather use my thumb, although most people say you should be using your pinky instead, because it had like smaller regrip, except for like just doing a massive regrip like this to turn the D dial. So you should, if you use pinky, you should look something like this. Yeah, something like this. So if you're comfortable with your pinky, then you should be really using it. But if you think you're okay with pinky, then you should be really practicing it in most of your solves. Yeah. The third tip is that when using the flip method, there are 4 ways that you can flip. One is the most popular, which is the X2 flip, where you solve it and immediately go to here, which is the fastest flip method. But it depends if the scramble is good or not. Like when during inspection, you should see which flip gives the most advantage. It could be this flip or the Y2 flip. The Y2 flip is very hard to execute because it takes a lot of regrip, but you should be really comfortable with your flips. And there's also another flip where you do it diagonally like this. Yeah, like diagonally like this. Although that is like the hardest flip you could do, but you should try getting comfortable with every flip method, like the way you flip. And also there's this one. Yeah, like this one. So for the flip, it depends on what your pin order is, but like everybody has different pin orders, as I said the third time. But you should be experimenting, like how clock skips works with your pin order. Mine goes from like this pin to this, and this to this, and this. So during inspection, you should be checking which flip gives you the most advantage. Since I start with this pin to match these 2 clock skips to this one. After I solve like this side and I flip, and there's also this one, but when I turn this up pin, it doesn't really does anything, since the block is like right down here. So for example of this, it's better to do Y2 rotation like this, so I get this block on top. So example, it looks like this. Yeah, so you should be experimenting with your pin order and see what some clock skips works for you. It's different for everyone, but okay, I'm gonna give you another example of what rotation you should use. Okay, so for this example, this is a very lucky scramble. By the way, the thumbnail you are seeing is a 3.9 second solve. I did it with this scramble, so yeah. So for this example, during inspection, you will see that you have this 2 block and these 2 that are solved. So the cross can be solved with only 1 move. And also there's this one where it has this block and these 2 are solved. So for example, for Y2, or for my case, like my pin order, the Y2 or the X2 or whatever this is not a really good idea. And this is a good one because I can access to these 2 pairs and also this block. So like this. yeah, do this rotation, and I can immediately get to this position with this block and also these two pairs. And I actually missed one somehow. So on to the next tip. So the fourth method, the fourth tip is to have a good mindset. You should be having a mindset knowing that progress doesn't come immediately. It comes with practice after a long time. I can be sub 5 with flip method after like a long time for practicing. So you should be having the mindset that things doesn't come immediately. So with a good mindset, you can definitely reach your goal smoothly, instead of trying to improve as much as you can as every day, like beyond your abilities. So it's good to have a good mindset. Yeah, I think for this video, the most important tip is to have a good mindset. With a good mindset, everything is possible. And if you want an extra tip, just check the comments. So that's it for the video on how to be sub 5 with the flip method. I'm going to see you guys next time. Maybe just give me some video ideas. If you want more tips on how to improve with whatever method you have, you can just DM me on Discord. My user is in the comments.